Hello, I'm Christina, and I'm popping on here tonight because there's a lot to talk about. There's always a lot to talk about. And you might not think that the Texas southern border is prophetic, but generally, yeah, technically, sure it is because there will be wars and rumors of wars. But this one's interesting. This one's not unprecedented per se, but it's not like it's necessarily states against states this time. It's the government who's gotten too big and thinks they can do whatever they want or not against states that are trying to defend American citizens and the country itself. Texas is literally a gateway. This is my home state. This is where I was born. This is where I've been raised. This is where I went to school, had my hometown in. So this is a little more personal, and it's the timing of it, especially for Biden, is interesting because it's the beginning of an election year too, for him to be outright waging war against Americans. Now, people are saying that we are on the brink of civil war, and the writing is really on the wall with this one. I have to agree. But it also, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You're more than welcome to. It also has that smell of American Revolution, honestly. And nobody can be more responsible than Joe Biden himself. Because from the beginning of his presidency, he has been really snobby and just, that's how he started off about the southern border thing. He opened the gates wide and gaslit everybody who objected. And now it's turning into feds against border patrol, and the National Guard is getting kicked around here in the middle. But if it's true that we have 25 states that are backing Greg Abbott, that's half. That's divided right in half. That is also prophetic because, I mean, think about it. We are trying to divide Israel. Blinken and Biden both have made conscientious efforts. So I can see the seams here. I can see where everything just kind of makes sense. And Texas kind of sits in the middle of the United States, doesn't it? I want to stop for a minute and welcome everyone that has come tonight. Hello, Debbie, Scrappy Deppy Doo, Kathleen, love you, girl, and Connie Davidson. Awesome, awesome. I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you very much. I'm always so thankful. Just having you guys in my life really makes a big difference for me. And I just thank you for always giving me someone to think about and a family to be a part of in this cruel and unjust world. I'm so glad to see everybody, and I hope that you're doing well. I also want to thank Miss Veronica for sending me a turkey and a chocolate cake for my birthday. The smells in this kitchen. Oh, what a wonderful gift. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's just delicious. Hello, Chris Bevan. Welcome, welcome. So, we're not only going to talk about that, the border issue, but some consequences that could start to play out that you might not have thought about just yet. Because you got to think about, this is Texas. And what do we have going on with Texas all the time? Oil, gas. You want to talk about a war that could really break out and what it could affect and what Biden might try to do? Think about gas shortages. That could happen. That could be a problem. A rise in gasoline prices. And it could even tip the balance of economics just enough to send us into that collapse that prophets have seen for years. In fact, the four horsemen have to do with economics, economic imbalance, poverty, pestilence. those kinds of things, and famine. Those things are in prophecy. Okay, and the four horsemen are in Revelation 3. No, 5 and 6 for sure. Then Revelation 3 is the churches, letters to the churches. All right. So I want to know definitely what you guys think about this, because the idea is being pushed out there that it's really just the red states that are being called to action. But I've been hearing also that there are a lot of Democrats that are actually on board too. And so it seems like these other states are starting to send backup. We're talking troops in a way, okay? And I actually was seeing a black helicopter, military helicopter flying around earlier today around here, and I'm in the North Houston area. So activity is starting to pick up as far as militarily in the state of Texas. Hello, Texas Roughneck. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to see you guys. So I don't know if this is the smartest thing to do, to wage war on Americans that you want to vote for you, but I guess the reason he had all these people coming over here is because he has new voters that might be grateful, right? And maybe even cause some problems for his opposition, which is us, the actual America. He said that he would serve and protect when he took oath. Okay, that's his job in essence, right? Not to fight us, not to fight us. So it's good that the Lone Star State isn't alone completely in this. And for that, I'm very grateful. And I ask that you continue to pray for Governor Abbott of Texas, because he's leading a really amazing front for modern day. I mean, this is going to go down in the history books. It really is. I have a feeling, because Biden and his people, they are very proud, and they don't like being subjects of rejection or pushback. They have a different set of rules, they think, for them, that they can just push aside whatever rules, no matter what, even at the detriment of the people he's trying to bring in, and the people that pay taxes to the government every year. All right. So when you think about the eclipse that's coming in just a few months, that right there tells me, yeah, this year is going to be, that's not a good sign. I can tell you that. I'm going to tell you right now, we're heading down some troublesome days for all of you that, because I mean, I'm beyond the point of saying, hey, prepare. I think a lot of us are very sick of begging and pleading with other in trying to get ready ourselves. I'm just saying, for those of you who have prepared, I think you're about to need those preps. Remember, never keep all your eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? Okay? Because if something happens to, like, say your car, if you had everything in your car, just remember that. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. Welcome. He is risen. Northsider here also. All right. That is great. Neighbor. That's awesome. Yes. And golly, the weather here has been, as far as January goes, that was apocalyptic. We went from a freeze to an all-out flood. It's not my fault I couldn't get on the internet. It's not my fault this time that I couldn't. This was the first beautiful day we've had, and everything was just dripping and trying to dry, and we're wringing everything out. I mean, it was bad. We had a lot of rescues going on from Lake Conroe down into Houston, other areas north of even Conroe, Navasota. Lot of rescues. So we have had some literal apocalyptic weather, and then on the heels of that, we get this thing with Biden. and the razor wire and the immigrants, the amount of people that are coming over the United States border is sickening. And I'm really actually glad that somebody had the cojones to stand up and and to wave a flag and say, hey, no more. This is it. This is where the line is drawn. Lone Star State has friends, apparently. Pyrotechnic, I'm so glad to see you. It's been a while, sweetie. I'm so glad to see you. Yes, it has. I hope you've been doing good too. Hello, Sally. Yeah, bad flooding in Conroe. Yes. Hello, October Wraith. God bless everyone coming in. I'm so glad to see you guys. So this is Dividing America. But you would have to ask, what did Biden think Texas would do or have to do? So he's been obviously doing it on purpose, but you can tell it's so that he can try to feel big about himself, and he's trying to assert that control. He's always got some kind of agenda, but it's almost like he wanted this so he could sit there and point the finger and say, look how bad they are. Just like when Abbott started busing migrants to these sanctuary states and cities, they called it a stunt. Nobody was playing games when that started. That's one thing you don't understand. This ain't Hollywood. This is Texas. There was no stunt. This is the way it is. Sometimes people are hands-on learners. You can sit there and talk to them. You can give them a book. You can give them facts, and nothing's going to register until they put their hand on that lit candle and realize, oh, wait, that's what hot means. You know what I'm saying? All right. So if this continues to escalate, there could be a problem with gas shortages, gas prices skyrocketing, okay? Propane, things like that. There could be a drop. Now, I've been noticing a pretty regular drops. It goes back up, but pretty regular drops in the value of the dollar. Like the other day, it went from like 91 cents on the dollar, what an actual American dollar, to like 79 cents on the dollar, and it went back up. But I've been noticing these little bitty dips happening. Okay, so what they say right now about the stock market and our economy, it's only held up and propped up because the federal government's doing that, right? But if the federal government puts America in such dire straits the way he's pressing, what he's pushing right now, forget the balance that they think that they can't. There's no way it can be maintained. He's either going to do the right thing or he's going to go for the throat. And we know what Texas is known for. And if Texas is hurting when it comes to gas, we all know, like, once when we've had hurricanes, when we've had natural disasters and we couldn't pump that gas out to the other places, we couldn't get it out. Whenever there was, the rest of America suffered immediate consequences within 3 days. Every town north of Texas, every single state had long gas lines. Things weren't getting delivered, like critical things like food, water, sanitation things. It shut it down. All right. So I want you to think about that. Okay. This is how we're, okay. This was just January for Texas. The weather around here is crazy. And I'm not just talking about the atmosphere. Hello, Paul and Adrian, Cowboys 8 panel. All right. Hello, Kay. So good to see you guys. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Again, if I ever, Kay, thank you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much. Very much. It's awesome. I'll buy myself a piece of cake for my birthday. Oh, wait. Veronica, but thank you. Thank you very much. William Mailhorn, I do not want to miss you. I want to greet you and thank you for coming today, hailing in from Jacksonville, Florida. God bless you. God bless you also. Maranatha. All righty. Yes, I think that's everybody. Your comments are very welcome right now. your opinions and what state you live in. And okay, UN is at the border with Mexico and Texas. Hello, DJ Velasquez. Very good to see you again. UN is at the border. Huh. See, this is not a small thing. And they say we have like some kind of time limit till tomorrow. Tomorrow, we could wake up and it's not just a threat to us. Tomorrow, we might wake up to some headline news that we never thought we'd see. I think that Biden's playing with fire, especially in an election year. It was one of the biggest issues when he came into office was our border. It was very clear. And he just snubbed it. He was too good for it. Yeah, that's right. We could. And I think it's easier because Texas has always had that ability to disengage and be autonomous from the United States. They left that option open, and I think that um, is a way that God gave the people a way to fight back in these days. Thank you, Kay. HBO did a movie in 1997 about this. And yes, isn't it funny that they were just advertising a movie that's coming out called Civil War, where the states band together. Now, I haven't watched it, but I think I'm going to. If I can find it on streaming, I think I'm going to watch this movie. Watch out for Mexico. I'm telling you, the crime rate in the Houston area it's awful. I mean, even in Montgomery County, I'm telling you, it's getting worse and worse and worse. Yeah, Trump says seem to be moving forward. I don't know. Abbott, he's a tough bird. He's old school. Okay, no matter what, you can look at that boy. You can see how he talks. You can see how he acts. He is not playing. He's not playing yes man with Biden. He's a good old boy. I'm sorry. He's old school. Yeah, yes. I believe that Texas Roughneck. Yes. Global News Wars. I'm very welcome. Want to welcome you, and I'm very glad that you're here. He would send F-16. Is he trying to light a match? He has risen. Welcome, sweetie. According to a recent video by Mary Greeley News, Mobsam Samadov linked to the Islamic Party of Azerbaijan, or a man claiming to be with him, came across. My son was telling me about that. It was somewhere near Arizona. Yeah. Hot Mike. Yes, Pyro. Yes, Houston has gotten that bad. It has. I'm telling you, every day you can find easy 10 articles where somebody's been mass genocided in a home. 10 articles like every day. That's just an example. Not to mention the robberies and the what's it called? All the smuggling that's been coming through Houston and then fanning out. Okay. It's crazy. It's got this. The madness needs to be stopped. This is crazy. Okay. God be with us. Yes. Now, if they send F-16s, one thing that I will put in the description box, I should have done it already, but I found a link. It's called Be the Miracle Child Trafficking Donation, and it's for Texas. It's for a Texas fund to help with the problem of child trafficking. So if you want to send $1, a couple dollars, I'll leave the link. Okay. For that, if you're interested, okay. All right. Yes. And it's getting to the point where I am hearing talk of, whereas before there were Texas natives like myself that didn't worry about being armed, but now They want to get armed because there's this sense in the air. It's just not a news thing. It's like, this is serious. This is very serious. This is where the rubber meets the road. I don't know exactly how this would be stopped, especially with the ultimatum that Biden has given. Hold on a second. You, come here. What are you mailing at me about? Sorry. What? You okay? Come here. Sorry. Anyway, you know how children are. A little yes, Kitty. That was Tootsie Roll. I think he's hungry. But anyway, you are gonna have to wait. Be good boy. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, he's a tuxedo. Okay, now. Yes. All right. So there were some other articles real quick that I wanted to go over, if you don't mind. And one of you that has been with me for a while pointed out that I've been doing things a little bit differently lately. And yeah, I have. But there's always going to be a mix. There's always going to be something new added. But this is always going to be an end times ministry. And right now, we are looking at headlines that the Bible's been talking of and things that I've personally been telling you guys was coming years ago and nobody believed me. I'm telling you, I can't tell you how bad I was trashed. Okay. But these headlines are here and they have to be looked at, and they encompass everything from economics, famine, the earth itself, the people in power. You see? So we're going to be going over always a broad range of topics. Now, the next set of articles, I'm not going to read them all. I promise. Okay. We're just really going to go over the headlines and how they all fit together. And I think you'll see the picture that I do. Hello, Watchman, Calico 45. Welcome, Lynn, Sister Lynn, Texas Bass. Praise God you're here. Rightly dividing mystery woman. That must be on the brink of going underground. Why do you say that? That's an interesting comment. Isn't this in the scenario that Dimitri Duduman talked about before we are attacked? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And also Chuck Young Brandt. That's one word, Young Brandt. Chuck Young Brandt. Check that out. Yes. Okay. Welcome, Lane. Yes, go ahead. What's the link about global news? I'm sure it'll be fine. You think it's going to happen, Watchman? Weather's strange too. We have been getting little bursts of a lot of snow, but then having a complete spring melt off. I mean, down to the green grass exposed in minutes of knots of wow. Wow. I mean, we went from like 18-degree temperatures to 70 something today in 1 week in January. Yeah, it's crazy. Hello, Kathleen McCarthy, I mean. Blame it on another country as America disappears and helping Israel. I think that there's reason to believe that part of what's happening here is because America is messing with Israel and we're not supposed to. Red heifers, go ahead, Global. That'd be fine. Yes, he will if he won't run away and hide. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's check out some of these articles quick, okay? Now we've talked about the bugs. This one, now cicadas, they have many years they'll be underground. And after so many years, then they all happen to come up. But this time it's happening near the eclipse we keep talking about, which would be pestilence. I think that's horseman number 3, if I'm not mistaken. Could be number 2, but it's I think it's number 3. Next article is titled Meet the UK Preppers. We talked about preppers here in America a few days ago, but this one's about UK preppers, Britain, England. It says, meet the UK preppers. We're on the brink of war and we must be ready. So see, even England is getting ready for war. It's all busted out all over the Middle East. They're asking what your game plan is if something happens. There's the doomsday clock picture that talks about how it's 90 seconds to midnight because of increased nuclear threat. All right. Now we're going to move on to the next headline that says dormant for decades, the Kaitoku volcano makes a dramatic reawakening under Japan's waters. Now, Japan is in the ring of fire in the Pacific. And I told y'all years ago, and I know it wasn't y'all laughing and telling me I was an idiot. I know I had amnesia, and it was hard for me to express what it was that I knew in words. It was very difficult for me at the time, but I was trying. And I was saying, look, if you think that the volcanoes you can see are a problem, watch, the dormant ones are going to wake up too. And you should be just as worried, if not more worried, about all the volcanoes that are subsea. And I know that this is not the only subsea underwater volcano that's been in the news the last couple of weeks that has fired up. All right. But it says it's making a dramatic reawakening. All right. Says it's approximately 621 miles south of Tokyo. Japan sees underwater volcanic eruption. All right. Now, this is interesting too, because remember, they had some rogue waves smashing into New York and California not long ago, right? We got two more articles recently. One that says huge rogue waves smash into remote U.S. military base in the Pacific. And the other one says huge rogue wave knocks out surf spectators in France. Now, you know it's not the same article because France is around the Atlantic and the Mediterranean Sea more, not the Pacific. And that's two more huge rogue waves around the world. Now, what did I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all before, around New Year's? I said, if I were a betting woman, I'd be watching the water this year. I'd be watching the water to be coming up out its beds. Uh-huh. All right. Next one. Next headline says, unearthing Teed's fiery secret. Scientists detect heart of magma beneath Spain's tallest volcano. Now, Spain is attached directly to France, like Texas to Louisiana. Okay. And it was France that just had a rogue wave. But it turns out their neighbor Spain is seeing an increase in magma. All right. And France and Spain are both around a fault line, a pretty major fault line. And where there are fault lines, there are volcanoes. We know that we're having shifts in tectonics, things grinding, sinking, all of that. We've been keeping up with it, you and I, on this channel, right? And to end it, even though it's common, this one's a pretty big one. It's right here in the United States in Florida. It says 60-foot sinkhole opened in Florida front lawn, leaving neighbors nervous. A sinkhole approximately 60 feet deep opened up in someone's front lawn over the weekend in Florida. The Polk County Fire Department posted. All right. So that's a big sinkhole. Okay. That's just some of the end times kind of things that are happening to our planet. And in the meantime, we decide this is a great time to have to fight the United States government to protect ourselves. But isn't that typical? What was it that California couple a few years ago, Chicago, I don't know where it was. They had this mob of people trying to get in. They were trying to protect their property, and they were the ones brought up on charges. And that's exactly what they're trying to do to Texas. And I tell you what, if Texas doesn't stand up and do something, then I don't think anybody else would have had the courage per se to kick this off. But I mean, Biden did make a point to pick on Texas, because we're standing up for ourselves. We're trying to do something for ourselves. And narcissists don't want you to do anything for yourself. They don't want you to better yourself. And they sure don't want you to make them look bad. Biden has an agenda, even if he doesn't always know what's going on. Whenever he talks, you can see where his vibe is, no matter what. Indeed, Janet, they are some exciting times. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I'm just looking at some of your comments super fast. Thank you, Catholic. Israel is God's time clock and Jerusalem is being surrounded. Yep. And the closer that we get, the more you keep hearing about, and I'm telling you, the closer more they keep talking about dividing and bringing peace to the Middle East, like it's not really a trick against Israel, like they're not really going to bully them into it because they defended themselves. And now, as per protocol of these modern times, the victims must be punished. That's kind of common, and it really should stop. It really should. But that's every time they, it just brings us such misery. So these are the times that we're living in, and you can feel it. You can feel that there's like the air is getting real thick and charged. People are getting charged emotionally, and not just emotionally, but like it's moved into that point where people are starting to take action. I wonder what tomorrow's headlines are going to be, because chances are I might have to just straight up get on here tomorrow and have a chat. And I bet you'll have seen the news too already. I hope you'll be ready for that. Yes, just the early stages. Hope that's what I'm thinking. I don't think this is just going to be over tomorrow. I think tomorrow's headlines could be big. They know many Jews in the churches, they want them to come out, learn Hebrew, and fly them back to Israel. Jeremiah 51:6, flee from Babylon, run for your lives, do not be destroyed because of her sins. It is time for the Lord's vengeance. He will pay her what she deserves. That is biblical. Yes, it is. I will definitely try to keep everybody informed, but I love you guys, and I want y'all to remember that it is always the darkest times when we come together in prayer, because we can either be afraid or we can grab onto God, like we've been talking about for so long, that when the storm comes, we keep our eyes on God, we hold on tight, and we let him get us through the storm. And when that's going on, that's when miracles start happening. All right. I want you to believe. Don't just think that miracles are a thing of the past. There are miracles every day. The fact that you were born, the fact that you're alive right now, listen, I've been to the grave and back. It is easy to die. It's a miracle every day that you're alive. And that doesn't tell you miracles don't exist, but I'm talking big things. Believe that God is with us. All right. And even when he was getting ready to destroy places that were due judgment, he always saved his people. Okay. So don't go running. Don't get confused. Don't get scared. But definitely be aware. Be alert. And don't let somebody gaslight you into thinking, that maybe we're taking this too. No, this is serious. Okay. That's what they like to do, is diminish what's going on so we can keep staying in la la land. Don't do that. Face it. We're men and women. We know how to put our big boys and girl pants on still, don't we? I hope so. But we got God with us. And I wanted to leave you with that. All right. I'm pretty sure I'll talk to you soon. And I love you guys so, 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 so much. All right. I'll talk to you later. God bless. And talk to you soon.